Hello there! If you are trying to write a page turner of a book, you might think you need lots of, shall we say, chase scenes, fight scenes, oh wow, steamy or spicy scenes, and possibly even bang, 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 bang scenes. If you know what I mean, of course you do. Saw that. Anyway, well, I'm here to tell you that while those are helpful in keeping stories exciting, you don't necessarily need all that in every single page and every single chapter. You just need to know how to misdirect readers away from the main suspect. And to do that, you can start with 1. Make the real criminal helpful. Sometimes in real life crimes, a criminal will insert themselves into the investigation. They do this because they want to know how close the police are to him. They do this by maybe helping the detective interpret a clue. They could also maybe comfort the grieving family. This makes the reader think this person's an ally, and thus points the suspicion away from the criminal, like over there, out the window there, over there, or anywhere else. Anyway. Number 2, use red herrings. This gives someone else a possibly stronger motive. Several examples of this are a spouse who benefits financially, like a $10 million life insurance payout, or $100 million investment account is now hers if the man dies, something like that. Or it could be a rival that the victim could have publicly humiliated, or a brother or sister or anybody else who was cut out of the will. Meanwhile, the real criminal's motive was a little more subtle, possibly emotional as opposed to financial. Maybe they held onto a grudge from being wronged 20 years ago. Some people do hold grudges forever, and this motive does not reveal itself until later in the story. Basically, a motive doesn't have to make sense to anybody other than the criminal themselves. Basically, if you want to make red herrings, though, they make the red herring's motive loud and obvious, and the real criminal's motive quiet and in the background. I did a video on red herrings some time back. The link will be in the description of the video. Click on it and stay on YouTube and do whatever you want anyway. Number 3, you can weaponize point of view, POV. This could be quite helpful if you're writing in limited POV. Show what the killer sees, but not what they do off the page. You want the reader to interpret it, their internal thoughts. An example could be something like this. He stared at the smashed up furniture and the blood on the floor. This wasn't supposed to happen. You can show the character being in shock, which can make a reader think innocence. But what he was thinking was that this wasn't supposed to be so messy. Number 4, use timing illusions. To do this, you manipulate when information is revealed. The criminal has an airtight alibi, or so it appears, but later you reveal a 10-minute time gap, or a lie about timing. That tiny crack can then lead to big reveals. Number 5, you make the criminal emotionally sympathetic. Perhaps. This works because readers don't want to suspect people they like or have some other reason to sympathize or empathize with them. The criminal could be a single parent struggling financially, a vet who is tender with the animals in her care. Because there is a thing about you can kill people, but you can't kill the dog. A loyal best friend. But then it will really throw your reader for a loop if the crime appears cruel, but the public persona of the criminal was compassionate. Number 6. Bury clues in plain sight. Show truth early, but bury it with drama. The criminal mentions knowing something about the victim, a detail that wasn't made public. The scene was dramatic and emotional, which is why the clue was overlooked. The key is to make it small and not flashy. Number 7, maybe let the real criminal be too obvious, too early. The way you misdirect this is you're using reverse psychology. If the person appears as the suspect and is arrested on page 30 in chapter 2 or 3, when there are 40 more chapters and maybe 400 more pages to go, readers might think, well, that was too easy. This person can't be the actual one who did the crime. So then you must clear that suspect convincingly, and then the cops are thinking, how are we going to get to the bottom of this? Who actually did it? And then after you see the evidence properly, you bring them back with a twist. Number 8. Hide guilt in normal behavior. Instead of having a character appear nervous with shaking hands and shallow breathing, show them composed and overconfident. If they're a seasoned criminal, maybe this crime could be old hat to them. Nothing really shakes them because, well, I've been there, done that. I've done a whole lot of stuff the criminal might be thinking. And finally, number 9, make the crime look like it required a skill set. If the crime required medical law knowledge, the suspect might be a doctor or EMT or more than one. If it required knowledge of firearms, the suspect could be another cop, a soldier, a hunter, or anyone else who's a gun enthusiast. But then later you reveal that the criminal had obtained that skill recently or anonymously, or maybe they had the skill all along, they just didn't let anybody know. They could have been a doctor fired for malpractice or anything like that. Maybe they practiced a gun firing at a firing range under an assumed name or something like that. They could have improvised or hired someone to do the crime. And in this instance, your assumptions are an ally, even though the old thing of never assume anything and makes an ass out of you and me. But also, in the end, remember, though, the golden rule of fair play in all this, your reader should be shocked, not cheated. When they go back over the story, if they do, they should realize it was right there. That's the difference between a twist and a betrayal. I hope you enjoyed the video and that it helped you with your own writing. Let me know in the comments what your biggest takeaway was and what other subjects you'd like me to cover in the future. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And may you have a great day and a great week. I will see you in 7 days. So long, everybody.